Those who've played through Sonic Adventure know well that the game is far from perfect. But when the game picked up momentum, players were nothing short of mystified. For myself and many others, there existed a story filled to the brim with cold steel, emotion both gentle and tragic. That story was the woeful tale of E-102 Gamma, a story whose beginning and resolution had more to do with itself than the rest of the game. I can't help but, to this day, remember it, cherish it, and above all else, feel an unexplainable emptiness when I finish it. If I were to compare it to something, Gamma's story feels a lot like Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. A monster trapped within his own body. It's solemn, sorrowful. So, I urge you, this won't be easy, but if we are to try and understand what feelings are at the heart of this, then we'll have to start here. Just try not to lose yourself as we analyze this mechanical Frankenstein. Look at me, I'm your brilliant creator, Dr. Robotnik. To these words, the second being of the E-100 series was born, E-102 Gamma. A creation yet to be proven, but with the potential to eliminate all enemies. That is all you know about yourself, who you are, what your purpose is, to serve and destroy. And before the player is even able to question this order, they are thrown into the first level, without hesitation, a shooting range, to see if you are fit to even exist. Oh, and make no mistake, Dr. Robotnik has little faith in you. After all, you are a machine. You can be replaced easily. And so you obey, blasting in the face all dolls to the image of Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. Search and destroy, serve, or be destroyed. An abrupt beginning, I know, but to be fair, was not your existence abrupt? The game moves forward at such a pace that it seems that it was designed for the player to have no freedom. Normally, open-world games such as Sonic Adventure allow the player to move at their own pace, but I guess Gamma doesn't share that freedom, does he? Well, don't ponder that question, because now you have another mission. You want to stay alive? To continue existing? To serve Robotnik aboard the mighty egg carrier? Good. Then destroy your brother. Model E-101, codename Beta. Destroy him. That's right. Gamma's next task for survival is to prove himself superior than his older brother, an older model. What's the matter? Dr. Robotnik says that only one of you are fit to serve him. A simple command, and a command at that. Robotnik does not care how Gamma might respond to such an order, but after all, do you really have a choice? You barely know E-101 Beta, you just met him, and so the player must think this as they blow Beta to pieces. You can't help but feel guilty. Is this existence truly worth it? What kind of creator would even order such a thing? Well, I guess your creator would. Finally, Robotnik actually congratulates Gamma. To him, it is nice to know that his loyal servant would not hesitate in defeating his own mechanical brother. Congratulations, you deserve it. Now Gamma can serve loyally on the egg carrier. But Beta? He did fail, and Robotnik has no use for failure. Robotnik thinks. Even in defeat, he still wants to have a purpose. Fine. Beta can stay around. Has spare pieces, that is. Line up. All hands get ready for the mission briefing, Robotnik shouts. The moment of truth, Robotnik lines up his capable servants. E-105, Zeta, E-104, Epsilon, E-103, Delta, and E-102, Gamma. This is one of the few times that Gamma's story has any connection and relevance to the large part of Sonic Adventure. Dr. Robotnik orders the E-100 robots to capture a certain frog that contains one of the 7 Chaos Emeralds. The 7 Chaos Emeralds are powerful relics from the past that can unlock the true power and wrath of Chaos, the god of destruction. That's why Robotnik needs the emerald, so he can unleash the god Chaos upon the world. But Gamma and the others need not know the emerald's true power, its true purpose. As loyal servants, Robotnik's orders are law. They're sufficient. Gamma has never once questioned Robotnik's orders. Like an obedient son, he always did what he was told. Perhaps because he was afraid of being seen obsolete, or perhaps because he doesn't know anything else. And what if he fails? Robotnik just needs the Chaos Emerald. And if driven by such an obsession, what will happen to the brothers who fail? Zeta, Epsilon, Delta, Gamma, 4 brothers, and only 1 emerald to fetch. These thoughts must be racing through Gamma's circuits. Or perhaps not. Perhaps he avoids them. But one thing Gamma can't avoid is his fate. For he found the frog. He is the chosen brother. But upon touching it... But where were my friends and relations? No father had watched my infant days. No mother had blessed me with smiles and caresses. Or if they had, all my past life was now a blot. A blind vacancy in which I distinguished nothing. From my earliest remembrance, I had been as I then was, in height and proportions. I had never yet seen a being resemble me, or claim any intercourses with me. What was I? The question again recurred, to be answered only with groans. A tale of disobedience, but for the greater cause of peace and harmony. As the daughter of their tribe's chief, Tikal defied her father and tried to remain a friend to the god Chaos, but her clan used force and unleashed chaos upon their enemies. But Chaos, in his infinite wrath, blinded by anger, ended up slaughtering their entire civilization. Nothing remained. Peace and harmony were lost forever. My true hope is that someday we'll understand each other. Tikal says, softly, before the shrine of Chaos. Is what he's doing right? This life, peace, and harmony. Why isn't his purpose to protect that which is beautiful? Why are the E-100 series helping Robotnik awaken the breath of chaos again? These thoughts race at a blinding speed as the vision slowly fades before Gamma's eyes. You know, I can only imagine the pain and confusion Gamma must feel. There must be more to his existence than serving his creator blindly. But before Gamma can even process this data, Robotnik shouts in anger at his servants. But Gamma, you, the prodigal son after all. Gamma has not disappointed his creator, for he alone fulfilled his oath. He brought the emerald before the altar of his father. But the rest of them, they have all incurred Robotnik's wrath, just as Beta did before. Failure, you see, is not tolerated, not by mere machines. So stare into their eyes, Gamma. Watch as those who fail because you alone succeeded disappear. Well then, I guess the player should receive some congratulations. Once again, they have justified Gamma's purpose, his reason for being created in the first place. Never mind how that should make them feel. The player wants so badly to justify their actions, rationalize what they saw, as Gamma's brothers suffered right before their very eyes. But the game will not give them that solace. Creation of Robotnik. Go on and fulfill your next task. There is a prisoner on board the egg carrier, Robotnik says, and Gamma need to interrogate her and take her pet bird. Another order, another reason to keep moving forward. No room to question his own fate. You, as the player, tell me, how can Gamma afford to see such things? You know that he must have an unquestionable loyalty to the orders of Dr. Robotnik and his will alone. Whatever fate is trying to tell him, I fear it's too late. He's nothing more than a monster now, trapped inside a metal shell whose only purpose is to expose the world to its own destruction. By now, you know that what we are doing is wrong. This world, so full of peace, harmony, and love, why do Gamma circuits run cold with an uncontrollable will to blindly commit evil in the name of Robotnik? Gamma's not a monster. Just as Frankenstein's creature dreamed of rebelling against his monstrous visage, Gamma knows that he can't continue to live this life. And this is exactly what this scene with Amy Rose suggests. Amy is a kind-hearted soul, and she can see the purity in Gamma. The purity that he denies is there. Gamma's only real exposure to humanity has been Robotnik, who treats him like an expendable, mechanical tool of destruction. But Amy sees a picture all too different. Like a human looking at his reflection in a cool pool of water for the first time. Amy stands before Gamma as the peace that he knows lies inside him. Her message of peace and harmony. Just as Gamma sees it in Amy, so does Amy in Gamma. Amy stands there quietly, and for once, shares Gamma's pain with him. Despite his best efforts and his greatest wishes, Robotnik chose not to give real emotions to Gamma, to truly make him blindly obey. Well, I don't know what it was, but Gamma found something inside of himself that Robotnik didn't even know that he put there. Compassion. Scary for Robotnik. And so he fails to capture Amy's pet bird, and lets her escape instead. Gamma, your story always felt out of place to me. Something different, unique. A tragic beauty of storytelling that always shone brighter than the rest of the game. You see, even the gameplay of Gamma's story is done so perfectly. Symbolic. Each level simply has you locking onto targets and destroying everything in your path. The sheer destructive nature coincides perfectly with the purpose that Robotnik originally created Gamma for. The agony that he feels, but is unable to resist his destructive nature. Even as Gamma begins to change, the destructive nature that so haunts him never fades away, and the gameplay shows that perfectly. Pure ruthlessness, a complete regard for anything except the will of his own creator. Gamma almost loses all hope, and he gives in to the dark abyss that exists at his core. As he's about to slay Sonic and all of his friends, but again, Amy intervenes, like an angel sent from God himself. And you know what sparked this compassion in Gamma? Again, those of you familiar with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein will know well what the creature always desired. The little proof that he needed to know of God's existence. The creature never acquired it. And that's what turned him into the monster that Hollywood idolizes today. Friendship. Something pure, the undying bond that ties people together. Friendship is one of the core aspects of our own humanity, and Amy has already given it to Gamma. She alone saw past his mechanical exterior and offered him a heart. Zeta, Epsilon, Delta, Beta, Zeta, Epsilon, Delta, Beta. Brothers. No, friends. Gamma awakes from his eternal slumber. His brothers, they too dwell in the darkness. But they are not evil. Robotnik has brainwashed them. If Gamma is to remain free from Robotnik's grasp, then he must set everyone free. This world, its cruelness, it catches up on them. Gamma, he must save them. And so, the truth behind the story unravels like a brilliant tapestry. Gamma, you poor and most wretched soul, brought into a world that will never be capable of understanding you, never be able to see the kindness that hides underneath your cold gears. The clock is ticking, but Gamma cannot yet rest. Delta, his little brother, Gamma will liberate you first. Please, do not despair, brother. Gamma will shed your evil skin, free you from this desolate prison. Goodbye, brother. With each passing moment, Gamma's resolve hardens as his love for his brothers never dies, only shining brighter. E-103 Delta will rest forever, and so will E-104 Epsilon. Trying to understand this world is a luxury that Robotnik has stolen from them. Rather than walk endlessly amidst this eternal nightmare, Gamma will set free their spirits, allow them to fly away, and leave behind all the pain of the world. Rest well, Epsilon. You deserve better. But at what cost does this liberation come? Could you imagine being in Gamma's place? At any moment, Robotnik could rip him apart and restructure his soul, as happened to Beta, his older brother. No, for Gamma is destined for the path of liberation. Tikal stood up to her father, but only too late. Chaos destroyed their entire civilization. So rather than help Robotnik destroy this world, all of its beauty, Gamma will save it, at whatever cost necessary. Look at you, Zeta. Robotnik has torn away everything from you. Zeta cannot even move, trapped here within the egg carrier to serve as its core. With each successful liberation, Gamma's brothers have become more and more grotesque. But it's not too late. You are safe now, Zeta. Your big brother Gamma has come to save you. With this, the player once again watches as the birds released from each explosion fly away to a better world. Zeta, Epsilon, Delta, rest well. Here, on the main deck of the egg carrier, Gamma reveals the solemn ending that this story must have. Beta, and Gamma himself. Two more souls destined for liberation. None of them shall have to walk this earth anymore as its villains. Whether Gamma understands the repercussions of his mission, he does know that even he must be set free. Beta. E-101 Mark II, Beta. It always had to end with him. As his older brother and the first E-100 robot that Gamma ever met, you were always destined to be Gamma's last adversary. If only it didn't have to end this way, with a battle to oblivion among brothers. Look at him. I implore you to stare into Beta's image. Everything about him, his weaponry, his evil, his soulless conduct, blindly obeying the orders of his father. Don't you see? Beta acts as the other mirror into Gamma's soul. It always had to end this way, because Beta's a flawless representation of what Gamma should have been, the other ending to Gamma's story. In ways, he is Gamma. They're no different. And this burning duality to the relationship only makes the fight all the more difficult, all the more tragic. Do you really think that this is the ending that Gamma envisioned upon his creation? I can't lie. The intensity of this battle explodes at the player. It makes every fiber of their being want to take Beta down. But buried beneath this anger is a bottomless sorrow. Sorrow that Beta was so distorted by Robotnik. Sorrow that his liberation must equal his destruction. Brother, we are nothing more than creations of Robotnik. Monsters born from circuits and a false notion of righteousness. This is the end. Destiny has ensured that. This is the life befitting only a mechanical Frankenstein. Hey guys, Renaissance Gamer Noah here. And so, that's the story of Gamma. E-102, codename Gamma. You know, I always got teary-eyed when I finished this story as a kid. Gamma was always my favorite character, and I guess now that I'm older, I can finally understand why. The tragic sophistication behind Gamma's tale is just breathtaking. Sonic fans or not, I think this story has a lot to be appreciated about. Oh, and the Frankenstein parallels just add to how flavorful this story is and always will be. And as always, if you like this video, throw some support my way. It means the world to me, seriously. Alrighty guys, take care.